It was in.
It was out.
It was in.
Out.
In.
Out.
In.
Out.
In.
This is the Baseline Vision machine. It is an incredible piece of kit. We've been playing with it now for about a month, 6 weeks. Using it in some of our coaching lessons, training with it, using it when we've done racket tests to look at the different specs. And so we kind of made this video to show you all the different things it can do and highlight quite what a remarkable piece of engineering it is for something so small and easy to use.
Yes, so Baseline themselves essentially sell this machine as tech that the pros use for you at home. So it is essentially HAWKEYE in a little box. And it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's two, in my mind anyway, there's two main functions. The first one is for that match tracking. So the software is very clever. It can tell when you're serving, it tracks the speed of your serve, where it bounced, where your opponent was, where you are. It calls the lines in and out. It can understand all of that and then work out your average shot speeds, top shot speeds, all sorts of metrics that you would normally see after an ATP or W2A or Grand Slam match, but just on your local tennis court, as we are here in North London. The second thing is the games. So it's gamified some drills, and Ben will probably speak a bit more about this, about how we can really use those to benefit our training and use them as a really beneficial aspect to getting better at tennis.
Yes, for sure. We get loads of products like this that claim to be a great training aid, and they're just not, because they're really good at teaching you something, but as soon as you can do it, they become completely useless. The Baseline machine has a couple of games built in and the ability to sort of create your own games around it while still using the machine that are going to really give you a more detailed look at essentially just playing tennis. So if you have one of these, you won't just be hitting balls up and down the middle of the court. There'll always be a purpose and stats and evidence and information to inform the future, which is a fantastic coaching tool.
And one of the reasons why I like it, because it's stats based, the style in which you're playing becomes irrelevant.
Yep.
It's all about outcome, and how we teach is very outcome focused. If it's in, it's not wrong. If you can play X amount of shots in a minute, who cares how you're doing? If you can do it consistently, well then your outcome is good and you're playing well. And the stats that this gives you really brings that home. It takes away the eye test when you watch a player and go, they look good, and then you actually see and you go, well, but actually they're not. There's 2 games pre-built, the 2-minute challenge and deeper, and then there is the match function along with another freestyle function as well, where you can just play sort of and just rally randomly, and it will give you stats on the shots that you do within that section. So today me and Ben we're going to play a 2-minute challenge. We're going to play a deeper, and we'll explain how they work when we get there. And we're going to play a short set. It's a very hot day here in North London today. We're going to play a short set to 4, so we can show you what stats we get out of that, first serve percentages, points won on serve, etc, etc. So the first game we're going to be putting through its paces and showing you is the 2-minute challenge. Now this is a consistency drill. It's about how many balls you can make with your partner, but there's also the added addition of the speed of the shot. So the faster your shots, the more points you get. So you can't just go really slow and easy in the service box. You just won't get that level of points. Obviously the faster you go, the harder it is to stay consistent. So a really good measure of how consistent you are in this 2-minute drill. So me and Ben are going to give it a go. As you can see from the app, very simple to control. I hit play, and then all we have to do is listen
3, 2, 1, let's go!
and start to play. So we're into our final 10 seconds. The machine is counting down. Can we get to that magic 80? All right, the final whistle has gone. Time to check out the app and see if we got our target score, which was 80 balls in that 2 minutes. We did, we got 80.
Let's go!
There you go. And Joe, put the proof on the screen right now.
Ready to play. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
The next game we're going to be going through is called Deeper.
Now, it's a slightly strange game because it's cooperatively competitive. We are working together to try and beat each other. So essentially, we're going to score more points for the deeper our shots go individually.
Yes, so the court is split up into service boxes, and then the back half is split into half again. So you get an amount of points, plus 10, plus 20, plus 40, depending on where your shot bounces. So the deeper, the more points. Any that are out, you lose 10. And then the important one, this is all about, what's the phrase? You know, like on like those old dance machines, when you got loads in it. Yes. This is all about.
Forgot the word combo.
I did.
It's hot today, everyone.
This is all about combos. If you get 10 in a row, 20 in a row, 40 in a row, you get multiples added to your points, and that's where the big numbers really come into it.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why we like this game and why we like the baseline machine in general, is that there's a little subtle thing happening in this game, and basically around that deeper combo, because I will be trying to get the ball as deep as possible over and over and over. And that, whilst that sounds like, well, that's not really tennis, you're trying to move an opponent around, but Josh is also trying to do the same thing at the same time. So by the better I do, the harder it gets for Josh, and vice versa. And that's what makes it a proper game. So a game always has to have an element of competition, and it has to have an element of risk reward. So by losing points for missing, and by essentially trying to beat each other at the same time, we are rallying the ball up and down the middle of the court and trying to get it a little bit deeper.
Well,
score.
The only downside with this game is it's 4 minutes long.
Yeah. So
4 minutes, I'm going to die.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this one.
So 4 minutes is quite tough. So we're going to give it a go. This one's also good because during the game, the machine calls out your scores and tells you who's in the lead. So you can really make sure you up your game if required.
Yeah.
Should we give it a go?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Let's go deeper.
3, 2, 1, let's go! You got this! And the winner is... left side!
We are now going to finally be putting our brotherly rivalry to the test. With the help of the baseline vision machine, we are going to play a set of tennis, although only a short set to 4 because it is 30 degrees here today, and I don't want to die.
I do want to play first to 6 because I don't think I'll die. I think he will. So, but there we go.
So we'll be using the baseline machine for the duration of the game. We haven't actually done this yet, played a set with it on. So we're interested to see what stats it gives us at the end, and what if any learnings can be taken from the stats afterwards.
Yes, and it is worth noting right now is that the reason we haven't done a match like this is because it was a new update to the software, and another pro in Baseline's arsenal is that they are constantly updating this software.
So one issue with this originally was the software couldn't tell if you were passing the ball back or whether you were serving. So now it knows when it's a serve. So it knows if there's a serve, the point has started. So no underarm serves, because that will throw it off.
Okay.
That's a small caveat.
Never done that.
Well, that's fine. So overarm serves, as soon as you do an overarm serve, it will know there's been a point started, and it will finish obviously when there's a mistake, which again, it will track. Change of ends, you have to tell it you've changed ends, and just confirm the score in the app as well. So we're going to go through it. We're going to do first to 4 games, tiebreak at 3-all, and we will...
It's getting shorter and shorter. Anything else you want to do?
Well, I don't know if there's...
Maximum rally length? I don't know.
Yeah. And Ben's using his normal racket. I'm not, so I'm using my Extreme MP rather than a pure drive, so giving him a small advantage already. Should we get into it?
It's going to make no difference. Yes, of course.
All right, let's go.
of the stupidest things I've ever done.
So we've just finished our set of tennis, and Ben won 4-1, so I said let's keep playing to finish the whole set so we get more stats. And then I won 7-5, so we're both winners here. The true winner, Sweat.
Yeah.
So as I said, so obviously score was 7-5, and the Baseline app, which is, I don't have my phone out, I'm not just scrolling TikTok aimlessly, I'm on the Baseline app. And so the face of the initial stats, obviously points won. So even though I won 7-5, Ben won more points. Highlighting, for those of you who are interested, we did a video on why tennis is the hardest sport in the world, and that is one of the key reasons that Ben won more points and still lost. Pretty harsh. But there you go. Winners was 12-8 to me, unforced errors was 28-24, and you've got aces, double faults, percentage of points won, based on how many shots in the rally, 0-4. Ben won 55% of those rallies, I won 45. And that goes on, and then you have pro stats as well, which is pretty cool. So you get your average speed, your average net clearance, your percentage of ground strokes in, first serve, second serves, return percentages, serves, where they bounced in the box, where you were standing on the court. Really a lot of stats, some of which I'm sure Joe will be showing you on the screen now, the level of detail that it goes into, top speeds, average speeds, the first serve, second serves, and returns. So yeah, there's lots of different stats, and you can probably, and for the most analytical amongst you, you probably love getting right into it and tracking as you play more and more sets, how your first serve percentage increased and how your second serve speed went up or something.
The cool thing about Baseline is that it gives you a deeper performance stat that you wouldn't normally get. So we just played a set of tennis, obviously it was 7-5 in the end. Over the course of those 12 games, we unbelievably, and this is no way we would have expected this, our net clearance was 2 inches different, our average net clearance on our ground strokes. Our average speed of ground strokes is identical. And what was the last thing that was really?
The percentage in.
Both of us got exactly the same number of shots in the court. So those sort of stats you wouldn't normally get, and from a coaching perspective starts to give you just a slightly, the outcome matters, but you can't change the outcome, you can only change the performance, and then using the outcome as an analytical tool, right? So, you've got someone down the other end who you think, I played quite well, why didn't I get the success I wanted? Well, you can start looking and go, actually, my net clearance is way too high, or my ground stroke speed is just too slow, or I'm actually 20% of my backhands are going in the net every single time. So whilst it might feel like you're doing okay, those deeper stats might start to unveil some mysteries for you.
So there you go. We've played our set of tennis, we've got all our stats, and again, the Baseline machine performed very well.
And the one thing that really bugs me is it's like it's been set on like sarcastic line calling time. Ball goes out and then it out, and it's like, I know it was out, I just missed, and it's almost like someone's rubbing it in. The other way, and another thing that surprised us both, was how many were close. And I found myself saying numerous occasions, I would have given you that. Yes.
Yeah, I think it really benefited on first serves.
Yes.
Not having to focus on calling it in and out, just being able to play, and it actually made it a lot easier to return.
There was at least 4 or 5 occasions where I would have given Josh the servers in and the machine called it out. So, very helpful. But again, that slight delay in the timing does make it a bit oh no, what's out? It's okay, it's fine, and we can carry on. So, but I guess that's just part of the process, right? It's not going to be instantaneous. It does require an agreement before you start, and you do need to agree on who has final say, because we had an argument, didn't we? Josh thought, so it was down my end of the court, I thought the ball was out, Josh thought his shot was in, and so did the Baseline machine.
On the line it said.
On the line it said. I was convinced it was out, and you challenged, and it shows you clear as day it was on the line. I am still adamant that ball was low.
But even Federer doesn't like real Hawkeye, does he?
But this is the point. So if you are going to use one of these things, you do have to agree, if in doubt, the Baseline machine is going to be in charge or not. And if you're not going to, you might as well not use it. So if you've got the machine there, let it be in charge. It does take some of the pressure off, and it does mean you're going to get it right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the only thing to bear in mind, it doesn't keep the score yet. So it can track the points but doesn't know the score. So at the end, each change of ends, we were inputting the score. and telling it that we changed ends, so it knows which player is from which end. So manually, the two additional things you'd have to do that you wouldn't normally have to do if you were playing a set of tennis. So at change of ends, there's a couple of buttons you have to press.
Yes, but yeah, the baseline machine really good. So well done baseline. Thank you very much.
So in summary, the baseline machine, a great piece of kit, whether you're using it for its built-in games, tracking a set of tennis. It really does offer something extra to your training.
Yeah, we really like these sort of coaching aids, as long as they add some value, as long as they are beneficial and help you improve. Lots of the stuff on the market is a bit gimmicky and doesn't really help. Baseline Vision is a great addition. It would help whether you're a club player, performance junior, or just even a beginner, right?
Yeah, so we used it with Amelie, who's one of the top juniors in the country, to test out different string tensions, using the stats to kind of really gauge whether the lower tensions were really helping or not. So there's lots of different areas where you could use it. And yeah, we're here in North London and we have one, and there's not many of these around in this country. So if you are a club or a coach and you think you might be interested in having a look and potentially getting one, you are able to come and try this out and come and use it with us. And then we are also taking orders for the UK market as well. So if you are interested in getting one of these for your club, or especially if you run tournaments and you want to move them around different places, put them on net so you can have it for calling scores, calling the lines, etc. And you want to come and test it out, you're welcome. Send us a message and we'll be happy to assist.
That would be very useful for a tournament.
It would be very helpful.
Yeah, that'd solve a lot of issues.
Yeah, so buy 6 of them, one for each court. I think the final point is there's obviously lots of other smart court things on the market. I think the important thing to add, and I think the selling point of Baseline, is its ease of transportation.
Yes.
It's not plugged in, it's not wired in, it creates its own Wi-Fi signal to connect to your phone. You can be in the middle of nowhere and it'll still work. And actually it's relatively cost effective for what it is in comparison to some of the other kind of smart court options that are there. Things that we want to improve. What?
Cameras.
Oh wow.
We forgot, you can download the footage of your match. You can the argument you have that you try and settle with Baseline, you can then get a video replay of the entire thing. It is constantly recording.
Yes.
We couldn't believe it when we stumbled across this feature.
Yeah, it was back, and we were like, oh, and we went back 4 or 5 weeks previously and could look at the video footage of what we were doing then.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yes, it also has a full camera memory as well. Thank you very much for watching. As I said, if you want to come test it out, if you're in the market, let us know. We'd be happy to show you it in its glory.
And you can come meet us.
Wow.
Only subscribers though.
Only subscribers.
We're not going to meet a non-subscriber.
All right, we're really waffling now. Sorry.
No, this is the sign-off.
All right, goodbye. Yeah.